Despite all the seeming meaninglessness of life, despite all the lack of value that life seems to possess, there is one thing I believe firmly that can cure all of us from this general sense of malice and unhappiness. Malice in the sense like, unhappiness, right? Not malice and like, I'll fucking kill you tonight type shit. And that is love. In fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the absence of love is equally as important in creating these fucking mass shooters as is the piss poor education that we receive. Now, in saying this, we should really examine what I mean by love. When I say love, I don't mean this abstract metaphysical concept that potentially exists in some heavenly realm if you want to follow the pedophilic Socratic dickheads. And to be even more direct, I tried remaining faithful to scientific discourse to the idea that most of what we experience as love is nothing more than chemical reactions in our brain. But even then, I still maintain, as committed as I am to science, that despite the fact that much of what we assume to be love is nothing more than the chemical reactions, I still maintain that there's something there. I don't know what that something is yet. I can't faithfully fucking articulate it in a way that won't betray my commitments as both a philosopher and avid supporter of science. But I will say that there's an experience there associated with love. I don't want to look at my daughter and admit that the only reason she's showering me with affection is because it's her biological predisposition to ensure her continued survival. Science obviously is going to come along and say, I don't give a fuck what you believe. That's exactly what's happening. Every time you hug your daughter, every time your daughter brings home a nice painting and shows, hey daddy, I made this for you, all of that is nothing more than her inherent desire to ensure her continued survival. And that feeling of love and happiness and joy that you experience is nothing more than the result of chemical processes in our brain. That's what science wants to tell us. And while I'm not necessarily in the camp of a dualist, somebody who believes that we possess both a body and a soul, I don't want to say that I'm limited by my physical processes. I think there really is something there when my daughter fucking tells me she loves me. So when it comes to love, I'm trying to move away then from this reductionist understanding and say, yo, it may not exist in this platonic realm, but I don't necessarily think that it's relegated exactly to this physical processes in our brain. I don't like to think that all I need to do to be happy is fucking take oxytocin in the form of whether it be fucking ecstasy, MDMA. And I don't want to think that when I do feel happy about something, it's just a feedback loop, a positive reward to continue ensuring that I keep doing what that I'm doing. Again, I don't really know what love is. I'm trying to figure it out. But I do know that our understanding of it is certainly flawed, and that is flawed understanding of what love is what is contributing to much of the general malice. And it leads me to believe that the majority of us, not just the fucking mass shooters, man, are suffering from a lack of love.